What is going on, guys? Sean Don, week 13, training vlog 2020. Here we are. We made it. It's the new year. It's finally 2020. The time is upon us. The next 6, 7, 8 months, 8 months preferably, are hopefully going to be the most dedicated, most finely tuned months of training hopefully I will ever have in my life, at least up until this point. So, new program this week. This is the start of, I think, program 4. When I was home over break, I was throwing the 15-pound hammer for a transitional block, and now we're finally on the 16-pound hammer, competition weight, finally, after a fall full of light stuff as usual. Really happy with how things felt this past week. It was, at least the first half of the week was probably the best training I've had in a while. Not in terms of distance or anything, but it was by myself. It was in Chula Vista. I was back on the grind. I was back in my routine. It was some of the most focused, most methodical, I really enjoyed training this past week. It was nice. Really enjoyed the whole process. It was great. Like I said, good way to start 2020. So, let's see what's going on here. Did my phone just die? No, it didn't. It just shut off. So, okay, we're good. We're good. Technical difficulties for a second. No worries. But, yeah, so new program here. Making a lot of technical changes now. I don't know how evident they are. I think the people who watch me regularly will notice some differences, especially if you have a finer eye for the hammer throw. But, yeah, we'll talk about those later in the video because there's a lot of throwing that is going on. In this new program, like I said, 16-pound hammer. I'm upping volume a little bit. So, what you guys are watching right now are actually the full throws. I'm taking 20 full throws. I'm counting the wraparounds at the start of the video as full throws. They're a warm-up drill technically, but I'm taking 10 of them. So that's a little bit more than usual. I'm doing a lot of volume before I get to the competition technique because I want to really fatigue myself and really test myself when it comes to these full throws. I want to throw in a fatigued state, not super fatigued, but I want to definitely be warmed up, and I want to have to fight for it. I don't want to be too fresh just yet because obviously it's about training. I don't want to go too hard. This is a kind of a test block to see where I need to go from here with my training. I have a good idea of where I want to go, but this is, like I said, test block, but I don't want to be super fresh. I don't want to totally unload myself, so that's why volume's going up. I'm doing a lot of drills beforehand. And then what you guys didn't see before the wraparounds and before the walk-arounds at the very beginning of the video is I'm doing the PUD series again. My PUD series for learning technique. I did it earlier in the fall in the first program, and but now I'm doing it with a heavier PUD. So I do it with, I believe, a 15-pound to 20-pound PUD. My first program back, and now I'm doing it with a 28-pound PUD. So I'm building with some more special strength and just challenging my core and challenging my technique a little bit more. As you guys just saw, some sled sprints, that's new for me, working those in because as I move up in weight with these heavier hammers, I need to spend more time on the ground producing force, which is kind of the point of that. It's also just a good way to continue to stress my body with new different versions of plyometrics. Also some hurdle hops, pretty standard, and then a couple different sets of hang clean high pulls. This is my second week of this lifting program, strength block. So starting to really load things up. That was, I think, 150 or 155K on the clean high pulls. Definitely felt heavy. This past 2 weeks of training, so the second week that you guys see here and the third week that you guys will see next week, has kind of been kicking my butt, not gonna lie, but that's kind of the point, building strength. Don't want to unload myself, so early. I want to continue to train. So yeah, pretty hefty stuff going on, really starting to get into the thick of things. So day 2 throwing, enjoying some beautiful weather out here in Chula Vista. After being home for 2 weeks, I was really soaking up the sun. It was good to get some vitamin D, feel that warmth of the sunlight on your skin, see some blue skies, and check out that beautiful mountainscape that I get to see every day. So when it comes to these technical changes that I'm making. I mean, for the most part, these throws don't look the best. I think it's going to take a while for this stuff to really set in, but when I do feel what I want to feel, I think the throw has a different look, it has a different feel. The easy throws are going farther than in previous training cycles, in previous training years, previous seasons, whatever you want to say. The biggest thing I think you guys can see with these wraparounds is I'm trying to get a little bit lower in my legs and then also kind of get a little bit more forward with my shoulders. That doesn't necessarily mean sit my hips back and put my chest super far forward. I just want to protract my shoulders as far forwards and get as long as possible. Get that ball out long around the left, but still stay centered over my legs. So it's kind of a weird thing to think about, but when I do it right, it does feel very nice. A little bit deeper in the legs, I can feel that ground working a little bit more, and I get super long and relaxed, and my shoulders are nice and slopey forwards, and things feel pretty relaxed. So like, these are some better throws from day 2. Once again, very grooved in mentally. Once again, technique has a ways to go still, but in terms of mindset and focus during training, this is some of the best stuff I think I've put together in a while. Some of the most enjoyable practices I had, like I said earlier. A couple nice throws here at the end of day 2. Things we're feeling, to go from the 15-pound hammer to the 16-pound hammer is a small jump, so it didn't really feel too much heavier, which is great, because normally in years past, when I do the 16-pound hammer, after my fall of light stuff, it usually feels super heavy and I get wrecked by it, but I'm feeling pretty confident in my technique and my stability and my special strength, thanks to my lifting that I've been doing the past couple months. Feeling much more generally prepared. This is day 2 lifting. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you might have seen it there. Tempo circuits. This is active recovery stuff, mostly rehab stuff for my core. That's all that is. Nothing special. A little bit of general work. So day 3 throwing. If you guys know, in past vlogs, day 3, session 3 is usually a little bit of a higher intensity day for me. I'm usually feeling, despite all of the previous load that I've done the past 2 days, despite all that fatigue, I'm usually still feeling pretty good, pretty crispy, and technique just seems to be a little bit more grooved in, as you guys will see later in the video. Nice warm day, just feeling nice and long and relaxed, and trying to groove my new technical changes in. So another thing you guys might be able to see, another part of the whole technical change, is in entry. I want to send the ball long out left, but then I also want to get my right hip ahead. I want to create some separation on that first catch. I don't recommend everybody do this, but it's something I've never tried before, and after doing some film study on Sunday of this week, I decided that after watching some film of like some of the best guys, like Sergey Litvinov, Sadiq, Primoz Cosmos, Koji, those types of guys, I see that right hip doing a lot of the work in the throw, and so that's what I'm trying to focus on right now. Is I want to get that right hip ahead, catch earlier on that first turn, catch before I get to work, and then from there, once again, just kind of stay super long and relaxed to the upper body. I think if I would have tried to do this technique back in the day when I didn't know what I was doing necessarily, if I wasn't as good of an athlete as I am now, I don't think it would have worked very well. But now I have enough of the pieces of the throw that I can tweak certain things like this and still hold some sort of semblance of technique. As you guys can see, these throws are actually, I think, looking pretty good in my opinion. Right hip is really getting into it. I'm super long and relaxed in the upper body. I'm not fighting it too much, a little bit, but that'll come with time. And yeah, actually had a pretty solid, some pretty solid distances for just being a couple days with the 16. I don't know how far I was throwing the 15 last program, but so far with the 16, distances are looking pretty good. And then especially for being easier throws. Once again, like I said, these technical changes are proven to be worthwhile so far. Just got to keep grooving it in. So day 3 lifting, sorry. As you guys see me almost destroy one of the rowers' ankles, missing some snatches. It was great. The third day of lifting, has honestly been the hardest day of the week for me the past couple weeks, because I think I carry some fatigue from Monday and some fatigue from just the previous couple days of training. And then I think this is actually one of my highest volume days, and it's all upper body stuff too, which I mean, like, I kind of enjoy doing, but with just the current volume and intensity, it's just brutal on me right now. As I make this video, it is Thursday on week 3, so once again, this is week 2 shown. Yesterday's lifting absolutely destroyed me. I was not, it killed me. I think I definitely went a little bit too heavy on the snatches in the video that you see right here. It's supposed to be 80%, and I'm pretty sure I'd miscalculated my estimated snatch max, and it was just way too heavy. So a lot of this stuff I think has come to kind of bite me in the butt right now, but that is the grind. You keep pushing, keep doing your best. I'm just trying to load my body up a little bit and create some solid fatigue. That way I have something to adapt to next week when I deload week 4, which you guys will see in 2 weeks because I am behind on things. So day 4, Friday, had an unfortunate accident. Felt a nice pop in my wrist, and as you guys can see, I'm wearing a wrist brace. Once again, posted about this on Instagram, and so just doing everything I can to continue to train even with this minor setback of an injury. Super easy throws and drills, couldn't really release because that's where I felt the most pain, but still got to get training in, so I had to do something. So I just took those easy drills and throws and did the best that I could. Lifting and everything I was still able to do for the most part, just had to make some modifications. For the sprints and jumps, my legs were feeling real heavy, once again fatigued from the previous workload of the week, and front squats themselves felt okay, but using the straps for front squats instead of putting my hands on the bar did not feel very stable. It's essentially the bar just kind of resting on my shoulders, and there's really no pressure holding it back up against my collarbones or against my throat. So I didn't quite feel as stable. So I only did, I think this is 135 for 6, when my best was 135 for 7 or 8, I think at the end of last cycle. Next week in week 3, I'll be doing a front squat test at 140, which is my previous 3 rep max. So I want to be able to hit that for, my goal is 10. We'll see what happens there. You guys will see that next week. I actually get to do that tomorrow as I sit here making this video. And then step ups, loading them up a little bit more. I think I ended up going to, I mean, you guys only see 100K on the bar, but I think I went up to 110. Legs were feeling pretty solid. And despite the wrist injury, I was still able to do, like I said, all my lifting, including the dumbbell rows, which was weird because my grip strength is fine, but any sort of flexion or extension of the wrist at this moment in time, at the moment of the video, when it was filmed, was just absolutely painful, and I could not handle it. So as long as the wrist was locked in, I could still grip fine. So thankful for that, because I'm still able to get things done. So day 5, Saturday, you guys can see, once again, easy throws, easy drills. I wasn't able to do wraparounds because, once again, removing my hand and gripping created a little bit of flexion, and that jacked my, I don't say jacked my wrist up, but it aggravated it slightly. So I'm like, definitely not doing that. So I decided to go with these no wind drills, which is kind of essentially the same thing. And still multi-turn, 6 turns, more than 4. And then easy throws, just working on, once again, the hips, and trying to relax the upper body as much as possible, which was hard to do because the more I relax, the faster the ball goes, and the faster the ball goes, the more it hurts my wrist when I release. So really kind of fighting a hard battle right here, but still putting in good work, because once again, it's 2020, baby. Got to keep the momentum going. But that's pretty much it for this video. So thanks for watching. Tune in next week to see some big lifts and throws. Hopefully we shall see. So Sean Don is peacing out. Thanks for watching. Share the video with one friend. That's all I ask if you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week.